I don't know covers. I'm not doing camp. So my kids just think of me as like, my dad picks up his guitar every once in a while, but he's not that great. And
welcome back to the Power Hour here on AXS TV. I'm Matt Pinfield.
I'm Josh Bernstein.
I'm Katie Babbs.
Our next guest here on the Power Hour is the incredible Stone Gossard of Pearl Jam and so many other incredible bands from Seattle, and of course, the head of Loosegroove Records. I'm so excited to have him here.
Stone, it's so great to see you, man. Let's talk about Loosegroove Records. We're really excited. This label became something that I found out about around 1998 when you put out the first Queens of the Stone Age album. But you started it back in 1994. Can you talk to me about starting the label?
It's a little bit of a vanity project. You have a band that's successful, and you have friends that you love and like to collaborate with, and you think to yourself, well, I love music, and I love being involved in it and being creative and helping other folks find their path. So it just was kind of a natural thing, and we did it for 6 years. My partner Regan Hagar and I had who was in Malfunction and who's been a long time friend of mine and a big influence on me, and we just we messed around it with Critters Buggin' and Weapon of Choice, and we had a bunch of bands that we loved and we supported. And we kind of the high water mark was Queens of the Stone Age. We put out their first record, and that was when we knew that we could lightning can strike twice. The rest is kind of history. We got some great young bands. We're putting out the new Brad record. Lots going on, and we're just having a blast.
I got to say, Stone and I got to meet you briefly at South by Southwest this year. Your band Painted Shield was going to be performing, and then unfortunately didn't get to happen. But between Painted Shield, you mentioned Mother Love Vote, Malfunction, Temple of the Dog. I've seen you perform in. When do you sleep, sir? I'm very curious. You're in a lot of bands.
I've got 4 kids too, so this is like, it's a balance. It's really a balancing act. I just try to, play to my strengths, and my strengths are, enthusiasm and general let's do this kind of attitude, and I just try to spread that around and hope that something good happens. And in the case of Tigercub and Brittany Davis and James and the Cold Gun, which is some of the bands that we're working with right now, we're just in awe of what some of these young bands are doing. And
well, first of all, happy belated Father's Day to you.
Yeah.
And that day I told you, hey, Matt Pinfield says hi, and you know what Stone said back? My fellow rock and roll dinosaur.
That's right. And leave it around. That's a good thing.
This man was so overjoyed. He's like, oh my God, he said that about me.
I love Stone. You know that.
It's
I'm
fantastic.
such a huge fan of his. It's funny. And I know that Josh always has his kids around. I have 2 daughters who shadow me at work whenever they're in town or around. Do you take your kids on the road with you when you tour with Pearl Jam? Are they there sometimes?
Not a lot. The kids will come out for a show or two, mostly when I go on the road, it's like I got to remember how to play songs. I got 4 or 5 songs I got to learn every day. I'm not at my best in terms of being nurturing. So the kids tend to stay home, but as they get older, they may there may be more of that. I've got a 16-year-old who doesn't really care about Pearl Jam that much. So when that comes around, that she'll probably be 35 and go, that third record is pretty good.
That's amazing. Go ahead.
So with you having 4 kids, and like you just said, you have a 16-year-old, do they think their dad's like a super cool rock star? Or are they kind of like, oh my God, my dad, he's so embarrassing? Like, what do they think? What do they think about your career?
My skill set is pretty. It's a little bit bizarre because when I'm strumming guitar at home, I just sound like the same guy that I was when I was 16 years old. Which I know a few chords, I can kind of put a few together. I can't really sing and play at the same time. I have this thing I do, but I don't know covers. I'm not doing camp. So my kids just think of me as like, my dad picks up his guitar every once in a while, but he's not that great. And I guess he's in a band, but and then I'll play him, a new Pearl Jam track or something, and they'll be like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's like, okay, phew, but it's my dad always said it's hard to be a hero at home, and I think that that's very, very true. So yeah, mostly eye rolling, and we're sticking with kind of fart jokes here in my house.
I love that.
That's a cool thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love that. You know, so Stone, talk to me about signing Tigercub. I know they're a big priority for the label.
Tigercub is something special. You know, Billie Jean was the first one to bring Tigercub to our attention. Somebody played her a track in the office that she loved, and she played some stuff for Regan and I right away, and we were like, you know, they just enough views that they might, you know, you could tell that they were succeeding, but they were just not big enough that maybe a label like Loosegroove, which doesn't really have a lot of money or, you know, a long history of success, that it still might work. And we kind of nurtured them over about a year and just kept calling and saying, we love it, let's make a record, how do we do it? And we finally figured it out, and it's working out. You know, I think the pieces that are coming together, they have management now, C3 Management, and they've been a great partner. And they have this new song, "Show Me Your Maker," which is really the sort of the biggest track on the record in my mind, in terms of it really it's a classic heavy rock song in the way that we grew up listening to heavy rock songs. And Jamie is a very, very interesting and amazing artist who plays and sings, and he's smart as a whip, and he's a great player, and the sky's the limit. The guy can play quiet songs, beautiful ballads, heavy ass rock songs. So they're just starting, and we're lucky to be partners with them in a small way, and just want to see them succeed. You know, I just think that they have the nucleus and the DNA.
And they're already doing so well. We play them on Octane on Sirius XM as well. And
yes.
People love them. So
final question before we go, Stone. Obviously, for all the Pearl Jam fans out there, what news, if any, can you share of what's coming up next?
Well, we're working on a record, and it's getting close, and it's going to be good. Andrew Watt's the producer.
Andrew Watt. And he did a great job on Eddie's solo record too. Again, you know, like that was awesome.
He's a wonderful guy, and we're just having a blast. And you guys, so I'll come back on the next time when Pearl Jam's got some music out. I'm happy to come back and talk about that record. That would be great.
That sounds amazing.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. You are confirmed.
You'll hold you to that, Stone. I love that.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I promise you.
Awesome, Stone. Thank you so much. The incredible, the prolific, the incredible Stone Gossard of Pearl Jam, and so many other great bands, and of course, Loosegroove Records. Thank you for joining us.
Yep. Thanks so much for having me on, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching AXS TV. Subscribe, follow, like, and do all the good stuff. And make sure you leave a comment below. I don't know, just let us know what your favorite AXS TV show is, or who your favorite bands are, and what artists you're into, or just say hi, man. I like to be told hi. We love hearing from you. That's the point, all right? Keep it coming.